What's going on, Dystopians? Chewy here, and we are back for another episode of the Disctopian podcast. I'm here today with Aaron Gossage, aka Goose Man, and we're stoked to have him on the channel. He's one of the wonderful pros that I met down at Worlds in Lynchburg, and reached out to him, and he agreed to come on, and very blessed to have him, and just want to say thank you, Aaron, for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Always enjoy doing this kind of thing. So yeah, thanks for having me on your podcast.
Awesome, awesome, yeah. Well, we'll get right into it, man. And I just kind of want to jump in and kind of start where we've been starting. Just tell us a little bit about the beginning and how it all started for you.
Yeah, for sure. So my dad got me into disc golf when I was a kid. So I've been playing ever since I could walk, basically with him. I played, juniors and stuff all throughout middle school, high school, and I took a little bit of a break because I played a lot of tennis. And then I got back into it in college. I started a college team at CMU, and I really got back into it then. Then after I graduated, I decided to try touring because I was playing pretty well. Just want to see how that went, and yep, I've been on tour ever since. So pretty much living the dream. Can't complain about that.
Right on, right on. You think that little tennis motion helped that massive forehand you have, or?
For sure. I think tennis correlates to disc golf more than just about any other sport. I think both forehand and the backhand you really are very similar motions as far as like the way your hips move and everything.
Wow, huh, I never knew that. Might have to pick up a little side hustle now. Oh man. Well, kind of
Yep.
speaking of going on tour, when did you know you were going to be a pro? Like, at what moment did you realize, hey, like I could make money doing this?
Yeah, it's a good question. It depends on kind of your definition of pro. So I turned pro back when I was in college. Just, I cashed at a local C tier, that kind of thing. Probably the moment that I realized I could tour and do this professionally was OTB that first year. I got onto the league card final round at OTB and ended up being a really cool tournament. Got a lot of followers, a lot of fans from it, and a lot of good exposure. So I think that that was the moment that I was like, hey, man, I could see myself doing this as a career.
Right on, right on. Absolutely. Yeah, I know. I went on tour last year for the first time at Lynchburg. That was like my first tour event that I'd ever been to, and I just started disc golf in last August, and it was actually a recommendation of my therapist, and I got immediately I aced my seventh hole ever and got hooked, and it was pretty much over from there. And just the energy down there, I can only imagine what it's like, being a player and being a part of it. That's awesome. Speaking of going on tour, Tour Down Under is something that you've got coming up. Tell us just a little bit about that.
Yeah, so those guys, I think it's Henry is the main guy there, reached out to me last year and gave me the whole spiel of everything that's going on down there. They've got their own tour. It's their like summer down there, so they try to do it kind of opposite of us, during the off season. And I really wanted to go last year, but I really couldn't make it happen. And then this year I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sign up for it, send it, and see how it goes. So bought my plane ticket, committed to going, and I'm super pumped about it. I've always wanted to go to New Zealand. I've always wanted to visit. It seems like an amazing place. So now that they have, an actual tour down there, some really cool events, I think it's a really good opportunity for me to go explore the world and keep playing disc golf.
For sure.
And then on top of that, it's really good competitive practice. It's hard to get that kind of format, that style, during the off season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good weather, better than Colorado. Everything just kind of worked out about it. So I'm really
Right on.
pumped about it. Excited about that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Just a little hint for the dystopians. Another one of our guests is also going to the tour down under coming up soon. So I think he's going to be our next guest. So little guest tidbit, but yeah. Sounds like it's gonna be an awesome time and definitely some cool travel, man. Just getting out, seeing a new country, and I mean, I can't imagine
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
gonna be beautiful over there. So, um, you know, it, you may make a favorite moment over there, but do you currently have like a favorite disc golf moment? Like, is it from college when you were a kid, from pro tour? Whatever you got. What's your one like favorite story to tell? I guess.
There's some good ones for sure. One of my favorites all time was I think I just started touring, so this was my first year on tour, and I came back to Colorado for a little bit, and we had kind of like a local unsanctioned doubles tournament, and me and my dad played together, and it was a really cool tournament we played. Both of us were just playing lights out disc golf, and it's just a really cool moment. The two of us shredding and taking home that victory together. So that's always a fun one. Getting to play with your dad. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And uh, my most recent, I took my started taking my daughter out. She's 8, and we took her out to a place called Ditto Farms. It's local here in Maryland, kind of close to us in Maryland. And she was playing hole 6 from the Reds, and she threw a tee shot and chucked one up there. And her third shot, she had a little skeeter that my buddy gave her, and she tossed it in for par on her third shot from like 70 feet. And she was it was so cool. So it's I can definitely empathize with the father son, father daughter moments, and I'm so excited to see where she goes because she's she's all about everything all the time. She's just like me. The ADHD sends her in all kinds of different directions. So
Mhm.
she's on like sport
Yeah.
number 7, I think, this year. But you know, I teased that you are a content creator in one of the reveals that I did on Instagram for yours. Speaking of content creation, do you have a favorite content moment? I think mine is probably a couple weeks ago, maybe it's a couple months ago. Honestly, now you and Ezra did the Mulligan challenge, and you
Mm.
had that one hole where you did like 6 or 7 putts, and you were like, man, Ezra just started yipping and yipping and yipping, and then like a couple holes later he did it, and you ended up winning. I was like, let's go, good. Yeah, I think that's my favorite so far, but I didn't know if you had one particular.
That's a good question. On my own channel, it's a little, I haven't thought about it too hard. I will say one of my favorite moments in the content creation world in general was the worst shot triples battle that Brody and Ezra and I
Yeah.
did. It was just constant shenanigans. And then hole 16, I think it was, yeah, we had to like stick the island and we were all, getting hyped about each other, like sticking the island. And then we made it. We got the birdie, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, that's the coolest thing we've ever done!" And then the next hole, I aced hole 17. So
Ah,
that one was pretty sick.
yeah.
And the best part about it was just like all of our reactions in the video. It's all genuine. We're all like just so pumped,
Absolutely. And you're in
running around
Europe, you're
screaming
with your
and dancing and
buddies,
stuff.
like it's like you said, man, it's just genuine, it's a cool moment,
Yeah.
and to have it back to back where you guys bang the island and then you go just bang change, man, but absolutely. So that's a cool one. That's cool. Kind of talking about those favorite moments. Do you have a favorite clip? Is that your favorite clip? Do you have any others?
Yeah, so another good clip. This one's if I look on my Instagram feed, these are like my top two videos that are like most viewed on my feed. But the second one is my shot at OTB, or sorry,
Okay.
my shot at urban disc golf.
Oh yeah. That
So this was a super fun thing. I just got asked to do. I'm on 2 seasons of it now. It's just a super fun event. We go make up holes in the craziest places you wouldn't think you could play disc golf, and we were in this like warehouse, old broken down factory kind of thing,
Yep.
and we had to throw like through this tiny doorway around a corner into another doorway, and the basket was in a room that we couldn't even see the doorway for, and I just threw the most perfect, beautiful line anyone's ever seen, and I just threw the shot, and everyone was like, "There's no way that just happened. Like that's not possible."
Yeah. And
So that was a lot of fun.
absolutely parked it.
Oh, right, right. Wait, dude, they didn't even like I didn't even go and look where the basket was. They were just like, "Oh, it's in that room." So I'm like, "Oh, I'll figure that out once I get down there somewhere." I
Yeah.
don't even need to think about what room it is. But the best part about that is just the whole format. We're having a great time throwing these weird, funky shots through hallways, stuff like that. So it's a cool thing, cool experience, and I'm glad I just got to be part of it.
Absolutely. We were actually talking the other day on our way back from a tournament. We were like, we should do an urban disc golf. We'll find somewhere to do it. And Yeah, dude, that
It's fun, man.
was
I was blown away how
that was such a minty shot, man. I I knew exactly
it
as soon as you started talking about urban disc golf, I was like, I know exactly what he's about to say.
is.
Oh
Yo.
man. Well, moving into the off season, tour's over, and kind of rolling into plans for next year. Do you have any idea of what that looks like? I know I got my bronze season pass. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna be all over the place, man.
Yeah, so Tour Down Under is going to be a big one. That's kind of kicks off my season, so that's going to be the biggest change probably from last year. Other than that, I think I'm playing all the events, except for I'm going to skip a couple for the Europe swing.
Okay,
So I'm going to be spending a little bit more time in Europe, maybe play 5 or 6 events over there, something like that. And it's just another opportunity to explore the world. And not many people have this opportunity with their job. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take that and try to play as many of these, foreign European events as I can justify.
for sure.
Obviously, I'm not going to be flying back and forth every week, so I gotta kind of make some sacrifices of which events I'm going to be skipping. But yeah, definitely make an emphasis to play more in Europe.
Right on, right on. Sounds like some good plans, man. Sounds like it's gonna be a good little trip over there. I know in
Yeah.
terms of the off season, have you really been doing anything? I know I've seen you out with the dogs and out on the bike and just kind of out living life, man.
Yeah, it's been really nice just taking a break from disc golf. It's pretty cold here in Colorado, so like we can play, but it's not like optimal.
Mm-hmm.
I've probably played some like local tags, some leagues, things like that. So nothing too crazy. But yeah, I've gotten on my mountain bike, been gotten up skiing. I just bought a couple passes, so next week I'll be headed up skiing quite a bit, I think.
Nice.
And then yeah, just get to hang out with the family. So it's really nice, being home in the off season and just getting to hang out with everybody.
Right on, man. Absolutely. It sounds like nice and relaxing. I think
Yep.
that's probably the focus for the next couple months is just kind of chill, get off the road, and just enjoy life a little bit.
For sure. And one of the nice things about it is like Colorado's at elevation, we're at 4,500 feet here. It's cold. So like anything I actually did wouldn't be like optimal practice. So I can kind of just justify hanging out and relaxing in that like I wouldn't even be getting in like solid practice.
Sure.
So I'll be headed to Arizona in a couple weeks, tournament there where I can actually get some good practice in, and then tour down under as well. So I can kind of just like say, hey, I'm going to relax, and then once I start these other things, I can get back into that mindset of grinding.
Sure, sure. Kick it off and be ready to rock and roll. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, one of my favorite questions that I feel like I'm gonna end up asking everybody. Um, what is your number one tip for a beginner disc golfer?
Oh, good question. So if we're talking like super beginner players, my
You
my
you just
biggest
handed
tip
me your
is
first disc.
my tip is find a disc you can throw straight. So don't be going like super fast, super stable, things like that. Find something that goes nice and straight for you, and that's going to be your go-to on almost every shot. And it really doesn't matter if it's a fairway driver, if it's a mid-range, if it's a distance driver. So that's my goal, and then just yeah, try to have fun. And the beauty of the game is when you're starting out, you get to see the improvement every single day, and that's what gets everybody hooked. So yeah, really just enjoy the experience of that growth when you're starting out.
Right on, right on. I can agree. The growth is what gets you, man. And like I said, I,
Yep.
I aced hole 7, and I was with a buddy, and it was the first. I had a 3 disc starter set. It was this shark right here, as a matter of fact, and I actually got
Yep.
Nathan Queen to sign it down at Worlds. But it and now it's just like, what can I do better? I can throw 300, I can throw 315, I can throw. It's just that little incremental
Yep.
stuff, and that's a good tip, man. The straight disc, this actually right there, that Burt Buzz. Was one of the first things I ever bought, and like I said, it's just a buzz in the graphic plastic, and but you throw it on a little bit of hyzer and it'll just stand up and move, man. And I don't know. I've apparently become
Yep.
a buzz collector lately. I had to have the Beetlejuice one, and then this one is just a Great Lakes one. But now I got Discraft all over the place. But it's funny. I don't really throw any, but I got a bunch of it on the wall. Oh man. Well,
Yeah, I started out with Shark too. That was my go-to when I was a kid.
right on, right
Shark's a
on.
good starter disc.
Yep, shark, leopard, and aviar were my first three. So they came in a 3-pack from Innova. Bought it at Dick's and was like, "Here we go, let's go play disc golf."
Yep.
Speaking of discs and discraft in general, before we wrap it up, man, do you have anything you want to promote, shout out, get anything on the tube about?
I don't have too much to talk about as far as promotion. If you want to look at my merchandise, get a nice Goose T-shirt like that. Head on over to the website, Team Discraft website. There, my name will be on there, and you can see all of my merchandise. I've got a nice like long sleeve version of one of my jerseys I had made earlier that I really like. It's nice. Super solid, stretchy. I like the long sleeve shirts a lot better too. So yeah, if you want to check those out, you can. But other than that, don't have too much new stuff going on. I think a lot of other players have some fancy stuff going on this off season, but I'm kind of taking it easy. Also, yeah, support your friend Parker Welk. He made these fire hats that we were all wearing. So yeah, check him out. It's DGA. So yeah, that's about all I gotta say.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We'll make sure we put a link to the Team Discraft down there in the description for you, so you guys can click on over there and check out some of Goose's merch and discs and all that good stuff. But I know these the Jawbreaker Flex discs just came, and those things are sick looking. I saw those at Worlds; they were sweet. But yeah, man. Well, Goose, I just kind of want to say thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming out and taking a little bit of time out of your day and spending it with the dystopians here, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad we finally got the time to work out and everything. So, yeah, thanks for having me on. I love sharing stuff. So, yeah, anytime, hit me up. I'm
Absolutely.
happy to join a podcast.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Absolutely. And what he said about the time, we were supposed to do this yesterday. You guys will see this down the road, but we were supposed to record this yesterday, and I forgot he lives in Colorado, and I live in Pennsylvania. And I was like, hey. I hit him up at 12:30 my time and was like, I might have fumbled a little bit here, but nah, it's all good. We got it hooked up. We got it back together and made it happen, man. So we definitely appreciate you, man. Good luck at Tour Down Under. Good luck down in Arizona, and hopefully we'll see you on the road. I've got VIP for Music City and MVP, and got general admission to all the other ones. And my daughter's already talking about. She's like, "We're going to Lynchburg to DGPT, right?" I'm like, "Oh, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens." But that's the big one. That's a lot of people for an 8-year-old.
Oh,
But well, dude,
right.
thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and like I said, just good luck on all your ventures this off season. Good luck to you next season, and we'll see you on the road, brother.
Perfect. Thanks, man.
Stay tuned for the next one. Like I said, we'll have another person from Tour Down Under as our next guest, and we'll see what happens. So thanks, guys, for stopping by. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.